Hey, hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Ankit, and this is my first video for my YouTube channel. I never thought about to do this. However, now I'm here to doing that because I was never a good student, so I thought how I can be a good teacher. But there are lots of people ask many time to me to do this, and now I think I should also give something to our society, and I will try my best to give whatever I know to the society and how I can help with other way also to educate people, to help people. So let me introduce myself. I'm Ankit Singh. I have overall 12 year of experience in IT infrastructure, where I have experience and expertise on data center management, end to end, racking, stacking, and other things. Along with that, I'm a backup storage backup expert, and even for the cloud as well. So currently, I'm working as a technical manager for my team, and along with that, I'm a L3 L4 engineer for a storage backup and a couple of stuff for the cloud as well. So this video is mainly for a small intro for myself, and in the same time a small introduction for storage backup and cloud domain, for which I'm going to teach you via my channel. So most probably these are the main topic which I will cover in future as well, and later if I will see I have that capability to add some more thing here, I will definitely do that. But this video is a small intro for that, and then we'll go for a longer video, that to configure and to give detailed information. Those video will go for longer hours, but as it is an introduction video, I don't want to spend more time here and bore you guys. Okay, so let us start. So this will be having a you will having a understanding the basics of storage backup and cloud, and this is the picture of my current setup. Why I want to show you guys, because how I'm learning and how I'm doing good with my job, you need to be have a very good, I can't say very good, but you need to have a good even setup in your home as well. So that's why I'm so saying, I'm showing this. I can help you guys as well if you guys try to reach me how to set up a good uh, configuration, or having a good setup for your uh, job, or education purpose or teaching purpose. So I will help them. You don't need to be have multiple monitors, but at least two monitor, one from your laptop and one from extra, will really help you to reduce the timing of your work, to reduce the timing of your education. You can be a multitasker, and there are more benefits are also there. So that is the thing. So now let's go with the agenda. What is the agenda we are having uh, for this particular video? So here I will explain you about the storage, then the backup, introduction to cloud computing, key features and benefit, practical application, which kind of application or vendor are are under this domain. Then the resources will be there. So let's move to the overview of the storage. So one thing is there, when I ask people, or I heard also what is the storage. So when you will ask to the layman, it will say that it is a godown, it is a small uh, shop or something where the people are storing their stuff. So most of the that understanding is there with the a certain portion of people, and actually it comes from there only, because we are also storing the data, but there are certain more things is there. Then when you talk about the now generation people who use mobile, laptop and all, they will say it is my storage on mobile, laptop or desktop or somewhere, or something else. Even nowadays Google Drive is bit popular, so they are having Google Drive, Apple Drive, and OneDrive and some other things. But here what I'm trying to explain, that is the storage in enterprise level. So when you talk about the enterprise level, data center level, you are having an application. The storage is one of the main pillar for that, because where all the data is stored. So when we talk about here on the storage, so storage is the collective methods and technologies that capture and retain digital information on electromagnetic, optical, or silicon based storage media. Storage is used in offices, data center, edge environment, remote location, and people house as well. So when you talk about the enterprise level storage, you are getting a number of things there. There is a system who do the processing. It is not a hard disk only. It process a lot. It is having its own CPU, own memory, own hard drive, and have that kind of intelligence, so he can do the compression, encryption, deduplication for your security and for saving your data. Suppose you are putting a data, and that data can be duplicate, right? 10 peoples are putting data, or sometime you are processing the data, lots of time it is the same kind of data, duplicate data. So it, if you will not have a system which can process these things, then what will happen? You are wasting your storage. You are wasting your storage and wasting your money. So it is a dedicated network with the high speed, because the database and other things need accessibility in millisecond. They can't, they need a good bandwidth to process their data, read and write it. So that is the storage system, which is a dedicated network and give you all kind of facility of fault tolerance, computing, deduplication, compression, and other stuff as well. Then let's go with the type of storage what we are having. Okay, so when you talk about the type of storage, it is mainly SAN and NAS. Okay, however here what you are seeing, that is a kind of storage. You can say that people are think about RAM and CAS, it is a primary storage. The secondary storage, which kind of storage you are having, that is the hard disk, SAS, SSD, NVMe. These are the drives which is used in even our enterprise storage as well. Then the tray storage is also there, and then you are having cloud storage, Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive. Even on the enterprise level, when you go on the cloud storage, that will, you are having the EBS, EFS, FSX on tab, and there are other things are there. I don't want to explain more there. We will cover those topic, but a lot of things are there. And importance of a storage, we already talked about that. Quick access, data retention, data management, and other things are there. Now let's go for the next topic about backup. So in the same thing, when you talk about the backup, the people is talking about the backup. So there are, I'm giving you a normal example. Suppose on the carrier label you want backup. In a family level you want a backup. You need a financial backup as well. So what you are doing, you are doing a strategy. You are saving that money, or you are saving something else and having the backup. So it is a kind of the same thing about the data. Data is very important nowadays. Everything is data. So when you are having a valuable data, that need to be saved in a different copy, or you can say that on the multiple copy in a safe manner, where whenever it is needed you can restore it. So the backup is a copy of data or file that is made to protect against loss or corruption. Backup can be used to restore the original data in case of a system failure, theft, or natural disaster. Even for cyber security also it can be used, because suppose when cyber attack is happening, they are encrypting your data, or sometime they are doing some other things, some corruption and other thing is there. So how you will recover your data? And even for recovering it will take some time to do that. Even negotiation and other things are there. And suppose you are having a mission critical application, so how you will deal with that? So there is a backup is there, and you can restore the data, and then you can live your system in an isolated environment or in a different environment. And there are lots of configuration on that. I don't want to go on the deep on the same, but you can do that. And this way, if definitely you will lose some data, but it depend upon your RTO and RPO. We'll talk about that also. So that is the backup. And as I said, the importance is data loss prevention, disaster recovery, business continuity, and all. So now the type of backup, when you'll talk about it, is full backup, incremental backup, differential backup. So you have the definition here. The full backup is complete copy of the data. Incremental backups only changes since the last backup, and the differential backup changes since the last full backup it will take. And we'll talk about more on the specific video. And when you will talk about the kind of backup we are taking, so there is a backup and there is an archive. So the long term you are taking archive backup. However, in the archive backup you have a feature whenever which you can enable or disable it whenever you take a backup. Okay, after the completion of backup it will delete the data from the source. So mostly this feature used by for the log backup, because when you are having a database or some other kind of stuff where lots of logs are getting generated, so you are configuring most of time archive backup, where the backups are getting saved and in the same time the logs are getting purged as well. So that is for the backup. Now let's go to the cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? So before explaining that, I have a very good memory of this. Okay, I think couple of years before or sometime I have seen one video in YouTube where an educated person, I think from Pakistan, he was giving an interview. I think most of you guys also seen that, where he was explaining on cloud computing. So he was giving a very good initial impression and explanation, and then suddenly he went and he said, suppose if rain is happening, okay, then how we will access the data from the cloud? If there is a bad weather, how the performance and how we will access the data? Still that is not clear. So I laughed a lot on that day. And so that is the understanding. So everyone having their own way or own understanding on the cloud computing, but I will go with a very easy detailed of this. So cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data center and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage, and databases on an as needed basis from a cloud provider. Okay, I will explain this on the next slide more on that. And when you talk about the key features of cloud computing, so it is on demand self service. So what does mean by the on demand self service? Like whatever services you want to use, you can do that on the cloud. You can take those services itself. Like you want to deploy some instances, you can to deploy some database, you want to deploy something, it is on demand. You can go and it is available. Okay, But not every time when you are having a on-prem or your own data center, everything is configured. Okay, but here most of the stuffs will be available now. It is very flexible and lots of features are there. Now the second point is the broad network access. So how the broad network access means is you will be able to access your data from all over world, and even if you distribute your deployment with perfectly with the suitable regions and availability zone, you will get much more bandwidth also. Now the resource pooling, you can share your like resources with the lots of users or people, group of people. It is easy. Another thing is the rapid elasticity or scalability. So this is the very good feature of that. You can expand or you can decrease your resources as per your need. You can do n number of modification on that, and that can be instantly. Scalability is very good. But when you are having your on-prem system, or you can I can say the environment, there if you want to do a big change, you want to do something else, it will take months to get approved, get the device configuration, installation, setup. So it is a time killing. But here you can have that in minutes after the approval. Another thing is the major services. That means whatever you are using, pay as you use. But this is a complex topic when you talk about the costing in the cloud. Many people say that it is cost effective. Many people will say not, it is not cost effective. So the main thing is that cloud is also costly, but it depends upon how you configure for what you have configured. Okay, and accordingly it will cost you. So you need to be very clear of your environment, what is your requirement and how you want to configure it. So that will cost you like that. But it is a complex topic which we talk about later. Now talk about the type of cloud services. So you are having infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, function as a service, backup as a service. There are lots of services are there. Okay, and we'll talk about bit brief on next slide, where I have given you a picture which will explain how the on-prems and how these services are working and what are the layers we need to take care. Okay, but when you talk about the services, about the infrastructure, we are having compute engine, EC2, the platform as a service is the Google App Engine, the software as a service. When you think about the Microsoft 365, Google Workplace is there. So let's go to the next slide, and here I will explain you how the cloud is different from the on-prem and which layer of services we need to take care on which kind of service from the cloud vendor. So the left side, which you can see that this is our on-prem data center example. Okay, so this is the on-prem data center where you can see that we are managing each and everything. Like we need to manage data, application, high availability, runtime, OS, virtualization, hardware, data management, data center management, everything. Even only managing the data center is a big job, where you are managing your building, cooling, power, rack, stack, everything. There are lots of things are there. And for some people, uh, they really don't need that. They need access of a software. They need a platform only where they can do their work. They don't need this kind of on-prem environment where they need to do each and everything. And there the cloud provider comes in the picture. You can see that infrastructure as a services. When you see only hardware and data center management is managed by cloud provider. That means you don't need to bother about the from the hardware level. What is data center? You don't need to bother about what are the hardwares is installed there. You don't need to think about. What you need to think about: the virtualization, which you will do, the OS, the runtime, data availability, application function, and the data. So it makes you easy to manage this. You don't need to bother about the hardware, data center management, and other thing. It makes things easy for you. How the availability will be there for the data center, how the fault tolerance. Then you go for the platform as a service, where you can see that even for the backup, storage, availability, you don't need to think about them. You need to go for the application and the data functions. That's all. And then function as a service, when you think about, you even don't need to bother about the application as well. Okay, so you need to think about only the function and the data. Then the software as a service, when you talk about, then you don't need to about no don't need to think about the uh, everything out of data. Okay, so just think about the Outlook. Office 365 is there. Do you need to think about anything? Everything is happening in the background, backup, the where it's situated on the server level, OS level, hardware management, and everything is happening. But you don't need to bother about. You are just having your software, and there you are doing your modification as per your need. So that is the short description for the services which cloud vendor provides. Now let's go with the key features. We only already covered that, the key features which we talked about, but let's go with that. The storage, you know, that data retention, quick access, variety of media, scalability, fault tolerance, a high speed network, etc. For the backup, the feature are data protection, recovery, multi backup type, and automated process. The backup is happening, it is happening through a schedule, automated process there, you don't need to bother about. And the cloud, just like on demand self services, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and major services. The benefit of cloud, same, it is mentioned: cost effective, scalability, accessibility, security, collaboration. Those things are there. So now let's talk about the practical applications. So use cases, whatever is there. Okay. So we are having photo, document, music for personal uses, database application, virtual machines are there for business uses, education purpose. Also, we are having e-learning platform, online resources. So all these three are combination of our three modules are there. So suppose for the storage, which kind of a storage we can store: photo, document, database, application, virtual machines are deployed there. The backups, all these kind of platforms, or the documents and other things, we are taking backups. On the cloud, we can deploy these e-learning platform, or virtual machines and other things are there. So these are the use cases. When you talk about the tool and services, so for the storage, the main vendor I have mentioned here: Dell EMC, NetApp, Pure, Hitachi, IBM, HP. There are others also, but these are the main players. And backup, when you talk about, that is Rubrik, NetBackup, Commvault, Veeam, TSM, Cohesity. These kind of vendors are available. And for the cloud, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Oracle Cloud, and some other guys are also there. But this is the main three vendor top main, which is giving you most of the services which you need. So that is the detail for practical applications. Okay, and now the resources. Okay, so here there is not more. I have given my channel for the resources and my email ID for the reachability. Okay, later on the later videos, what I will post, so I will try to give you the resources on my GitHub site. There I will put some of the resources, and I will give the link here, so you can go through the some document also on the description label, on the detailed manner. You can do that. And that's all, I think, for an introduction video. uh, Hoping I did my best, but let's see Definitely I need feedback from you guys, where I need to improve and what I need to do better. However, I will go through this video as well, and I will definitely want to hear from you guys also. uh, Feedback is, you know, that it is really important in every sector, so the feedback is very important. And thanks all, subscribe my channel and motivate me so I can uh, do post more video, create more video, and help the society.